The most significant regret of my life unfolded because of a fleeting mistake. On the day I received the divorce papers, I woke up and immediately sensed a profound change in my life. He was no longer beside me. I missed his scent, his laughter, and his voice. After 14 years of marriage, I had lost my husband. How could a single moment of weakness lead to such a catastrophic downfall? Let me share my story with you. Before I dive into the details, if you want to avoid having your life turn upside down like mine, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. We share valuable lessons learned from real experiences every day. Please feel free to share your thoughts about the shocking truths I've encountered in the comments and support me by liking this video. Now that you're subscribed, let's get into my story. My husband and I are both 36 years old and have been together for 16 years, married for 14. We have 2 beautiful daughters, one aged 13 and the other 12. About 3 months ago, I made a grave mistake. I cheated on him with a coworker just once, and I regretted it immediately. I still haven't fully grasped the underlying reasons for my infidelity. On the surface, it seemed that I was so absorbed in work that I felt neglected and unappreciated, but I know that wasn't the true reason. I'm seeking to understand the root cause through individual therapy. If you love your parents, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like the video or subscribe to the channel, it means you don't love them. If you don't love them, then write hate in the comments. Continue. We met in college and quickly became inseparable. He was my best friend and the love of my life. We traveled together, shared our dreams, and built a life filled with love and laughter. The births of our daughters only strengthened our bond. We faced challenges together, supporting each other through thick and thin. However, as the years passed, the pressures of work and parenthood began to weigh heavily on us. Our conversations grew less frequent, and our moments of intimacy dwindled. I found myself yearning for the attention and affection we once shared. When my coworker showed interest in me, it felt like a temporary escape from the loneliness I was experiencing. I made this mistake just once and confessed to him the following day because I couldn't bear the guilt and shame. Initially he was shocked, but then he called me terrible names, words I deserved. I even thought I warranted more. I explained that it had started with innocent flirting, which spiraled into a night spent together. In that moment, I wished I had been hit by a car instead. I cut off all contact with my coworker and gave my phone to my husband to show him I was willing to do anything to regain his trust. I told him I would understand if he chose to file for divorce. I expressed my deep regret for the pain I had caused him and promised to do everything possible to win back his trust. My husband is not one to grant second chances, even in friendships. He told me he wanted a divorce. But then the quarantine struck, and we found ourselves confined at home for 2 months without finalizing anything. The first month was incredibly cold. He only spoke to me regarding our daughters. I slept on the couch, trying to give him as much space as he needed. I reminded him that if he ever wanted to work things out, I was ready to be fully committed to the process. He said some hurtful things and kept his distance. However, in the second month, things began to shift. He started talking to me again about everyday matters, and we even watched movies together with the girls. It felt as though he was open to reconciling, and I was thrilled at the prospect of saving our family. Gradually, I sensed our friendship returning. He even invited me back into our bed. I encouraged him to talk to me about anything that was on his mind. As the weeks went by, we began to connect better, spending quality time as a family and growing closer. I felt hopeful about our progress, though I regretted not suggesting marriage counseling sooner. One evening, while we were drinking and chatting in our bedroom, I felt a genuine connection rebuilding between us, and I was filled with happiness. This was the moment I regret the most. I made a move, straddling him as we laughed at a joke. We locked eyes and instinctively started kissing. Felt like we were 20 again. He kissed me back, but then he began to cry and asked me to stop. Realizing how deeply I had hurt him was heartbreaking. I apologized and we went to bed, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I had pushed him away for good. Just 2 days later, he told me he wanted to move forward with the divorce. He said he couldn't make it work, despite our efforts over the past couple of months. I wanted to fight for our relationship, but I told him I understood. We had already agreed on fair terms for the divorce. He prepared for a 2-week trip, and we agreed to share custody of the girls. I helped him pack and we hugged, both of us in tears. When he returned from his trip, I felt a mix of joy and sorrow at seeing him again, but it was clear things had changed. He smiled and we exchanged small talk before he took the girls. Today I received the divorce papers, and it hurt so much to know I had lost my best friend due to my foolishness. I miss his infectious laughter filling the room. I miss him immensely. The hardest part is knowing how badly I've hurt the person I love the most. I wish I could erase my mistakes, but I can't. So here I am, writing about it on Reddit while I cry, fully aware that there's nothing I can do to change the past. I wish he could see how truly sorry I am and how devoted I would be if he ever gave me another chance. I love him deeply and would do anything to win him back, but I fear I've lost him forever.